If you're like most million-dollar business owners, you probably work a lot, always have more to do, feel slightly stressed, and you're worried about burning out and in turn ruining your business. Well, I've worked with hundreds of 7- and 8-figure business owners, and a lot of them are either burning out or have been burnt out, and it's always because their business relies too much on them. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make your business rely less on you, so you can both run and grow your business without burning out. So to start, let me show you how burnout happens, because it's not how most people think. See, I mind a few years back when I was running my ghostwriting business, I burned out. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything. Of course I did, because I'm not a bitch. That's a joke, by the way. Don't get offended. But it took all my effort, right? And I basically did nothing. Everything I did was crap. And I really thought it was because I was working so much. So I thought if I just work less, I'll not have to worry about burning out. But that didn't work, because it turns out burnout isn't caused by working too much. Some people can work 16 hours a day and never burn out. Others can work 4 hours a day and still burn out. I've been both. And this is because burnout happens when your cognitive load is maxed out for too long. And the number one reason this happens for business owners and why it's so common once you have a 7- or 8-figure business is because of the number of open loops that you hold in your mind. Now, what is an open loop? Well, it's simply something you have to hold and store and manage in your mind. And every loop uses cognitive energy, and the more loops you have open, the more your mental bandwidth is used. And if that happens for too long, you burn out. It's sort of like leaving the lights on your car. If your car isn't running but the lights are on for too long, your battery will die. It's the exact same thing here. And as you grow your business, the complexity of the business and the demand on your time grows, which stretches your capacity to the point where you have too many open loops. Your cognitive load is huge, especially because likely your business still relies entirely on you. You're doing 10 different roles, approving everything, doing most things yourself, and you have no systems in place which take the stress off you. So with that, the best way to never burn out, so you can give your all to your business and your life and keep scaling, is to manage your cognitive load and your open loops. So there's 2 main ways to do this. Let me show you the first way, because this is going to be one of the biggest sources of open loops in your business. So you know how you start your day with great intentions, but you end up checking emails, responding to messages, getting distracted, fixing problems, putting out fires, and doing everything that you shouldn't be doing and you know you shouldn't be doing, only to close your laptop at 8 p.m. and realize, oh crap, I never got any of that important work done. Well, if you want to run your business without burning out, you need to fix this, because if your business relies too much on you, then you're going to have countless open loops open all day, every day. So let me show you 2 really simple steps that you can follow to make your business rely less on you. First, we want to see exactly what you're doing so we can decide what should rely on you less. The best way to do this is to list out every single task you do in your business, either by looking at your past schedule if it is that detailed and it shows you what you're doing, or having a think, literally just sitting there thinking, what do I do? Or you can audit your time for the next week to see what you do in a week. Now, if you want to do that, I have a free tool which I normally keep for my clients. I'll leave a link in the description below. Feel free to get it. But once you have listed out all your tasks, you want to sort them into one of 4 quadrants. It either grows the business and you enjoy it, grows the business but you don't enjoy it, doesn't grow the business but you do enjoy it, or it doesn't grow the business and you don't enjoy it. So if a task grows a business and you enjoy it, you want to prioritize it. If it doesn't grow the business but you still enjoy it, well, you want to protect time for it. If it grows the business but you don't enjoy it, you want to delegate it. And then if it doesn't grow the business and you don't enjoy it, you either eliminate it, or if it's a task that does need done, say like admin, which obviously you can't not do, you delegate it. Now, this quadrant is not perfect. If we wanted to be super optimal, your only job as a business owner is to grow the business. And so we would analyze your tasks more strictly, be more critical to figure out what your true priorities are based on goals, bottlenecks, constraints, etc. Which you can do that if you want, but the quadrant makes it super easy and gives you a great starting point to start with, because what you want to do next is take all the tasks from the quadrants that you currently do, but that need to be delegated based on where it falls in the quadrant. And then you want to systemize that task and you want to delegate it. What that really means is you want to get clear on the workflow of that task. So how do you do it? What does good look like? When does it need done? What happens next? And then you turn all of that information into an SOP so that someone else can follow it and do that task exactly how you want it done. You then look at your team and you go, right, who on my team should do this task? You make that person responsible so they now do it. You can then get them to track the data for that task so that both you and them can track and monitor their performance and create improvements without micromanagement. Now, we could go into RAI systems, change management, training, systems mapping, all these things to help with delegation and to systemize your business so it doesn't rely on you. But that is beyond the scope of this video. But if you do want my help to stop being the bottleneck in your business so you can scale faster, click the link in the description below to work with me either way. So long as you delegate those tasks, this will minimize your open loops and your cognitive load because you're taking the things that you have to do, giving them to other people. So now you don't have to worry about doing those things, when you'll do them, remembering to do them and all the rest. Obviously, this is why systems are so important, to make sure that delegation goes smoothly and that it doesn't just create another open loop. So if you want your business to be scalable and for you not to burn out, you need to systemize your business as well. But that brings us to the second way to close open loops and prevent you from burning out. See, open loops aren't just from you having so much to do each day. They can range from tasks to decisions to ideas, and in fact, they build up each day as things happen. And so the best way to prevent burnout is to actually improve how you operate so that you can minimize open loops. And there's 4 ways to do this. The first thing you want to do is so important, because think about it like this. What happens if you don't complete a task? Well, most of the time you just move it to tomorrow's to-do list, right? Which now means tomorrow's to-do list is longer, so you're less likely to complete all of it. So you move more tasks till the next day, and the cycle repeats to the point where you have a to-do list which is 1,000 tasks, and that is a shit ton of open loops, and you're never going to get through that, because not only do you have to try do all of them, you have to remember all of them, you have to prioritize them, and it's a ton of stuff to keep in your mind. So the first thing you need to do might sound crazy, but after making your business rely less on you, this will be so much more achievable than you think, and it's a good standard to aim for at the very least. You want to complete all of your tasks each day. I know that's a crazy thing for me to say, but seriously, this is a standard that I set for all my clients that work with me, and it's actually very achievable. But at the very least, you want to aim to complete at least 80% of your tasks. Now, if you can't do that, there's 2 things you need to consider. You really need to improve how you manage your time, your focus, and your business. But secondly, you're likely doing too much and you need to delegate, because as a business owner, your job is not to do everything. It is to grow the business. And very, 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 very few tasks actually grow the business. So if you're doing your job properly, there's very few reasons as to why you can't get all of your tasks done each day. So what I'd recommend is, if you're in a situation where you have, 1,000 things on your to-do list, go through that list, see what you can delegate, then obviously delegate it. But secondly, a rule that I've personally found to be true for me and most of my clients most of the time is, if I have a task on my to-do list and I don't do it today, so I put it off, plan to do it tomorrow, but I don't do it tomorrow, then I put it off again, plan to do it the next day, and I don't do it the next day, it likely doesn't need done. And so I just eliminate that task. But obviously it is all well and good trying to complete every task in your to-do list each day, but how on earth can you do that when you have to constantly check emails, put out fires, help your team, and deal with all the other things that pop up when you run a business? Well, you can't. It's the same thing as we just talked about. If you have 10 things to do tomorrow, you then carry over 2 things, which means you have 12 things to do tomorrow, and likely a few things will pop up tomorrow. So now you have 16 things to worry about, which means you likely don't deal with all 16, maybe only 10 things. So 6 things get carried over to the next day. It's a super common cycle to be stuck in as a business owner, and it is not a good one to be in if you do not want to burn out and if you want to grow. So what you need to do here is utilize a daily wrap. This is a block of time at the end of your workday where, instead of dealing with fires and emails and problems as they pop up, you deal with them in this block of time. So not only are you more likely to complete your to-do list and close those loops because you're not getting distracted, but you're also more likely to complete all the things that popped up during that time because you're dedicating time to them, which closes those loops, means they don't get put off to tomorrow, hence it reduces your cognitive load and your chances of burning out. The third thing then that you want to do and that you should do is utilize Parkinson's law. So Parkinson's law states that a task will expand to fill the time you allocate to it. And when you don't have any deadlines or time constraints of any sort, you have no urgency to do anything. So you end up being busy all day, but actually doing way less than you could and should. So what you need to do here is plan your day. You see, every night, write out everything you have to do tomorrow, and then firstly go through that list and delegate what doesn't need you. Then time block everything that does need you to a set time. This way you're quite literally setting deadlines and creating urgency because you have to, do those tasks in those block of times to stick to your schedule. It closes one of the biggest subconscious open loops, which is the thought of, when will I do this? And you have that for every task, whereas a schedule for your day removes that. Now, if you want to take this to the next level, which I recommend you do, then one of the best things that you can do here is set a hard stop time. So decide when you want to stop working. Let's say it's 5 p.m. you schedule your entire workday and all the tasks you have to do before 5 p.m. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, schedules don't work for me, that is not a schedule issue, that is a you issue. That is a problem that you personally have in terms of discipline and boundaries, and you need to fix that, because a schedule is the best way to manage your time, because it is the only way to manage your time. Like, how can you manage your time if you do not have a plan for your time? You can't, you're winging it. So if you don't get enough done all day, if you work all day and your to-do list keeps going on, you never complete all your to-do list, and you don't have or stick to your schedule, that is on you. Which brings us to the fourth step, and that is to understand that closing open loops does not mean you have to complete the task or do the thing, because there's 5 ways to deal with and manage open loops. You can complete it, eliminate it, delegate it, schedule it, or decide. So see, anytime you're feeling overwhelmed or as if there's too much going on or you're burning out or anything like that, write out a list of everything you have to do and everything that's on your mind. There might be a lot, that's fine, because you can then close those loops by doing one of the 5 things. You can choose to do it now yourself, you can choose to eliminate it and remove it, you can choose to delegate it so someone else does it. Again, this is why the first step of making your business rely less on you is so important, because let's say you do schedule your day. You might have 100 things to do. It might take 16 hours of work and you only have 8 hours to work. Well, that's 8 hours of work that you'll have to delegate if you want to be able to stick to your schedule and get everything done. But the other thing you can do then is schedule when you'll do it, or just make the damn decision. Now, obviously, closing all these loops, improving how you operate and scaling without burning out is so much easier when you have a systemized business. So click the video on screen now and I'll show you exactly how to systemize yours.